As the Halo universe boils up to the epic conclusion that might come in Halo 6, we have several key players that we know that will make an appearance. First and foremost, obviously the UNSC will be making an attempt to retaliate against the created, Cortana's rogue AI and Promethean followers. Along with the UNSC, the Swords of Synchelios will more than likely be taking up their proverbial sword to once again do battle in favor of saving the galaxy. While these factions do cover a large amount of the known galaxy, there is one particular group that is both mysterious and brand new to the scene. During the trailer of Halo Wars 2, we were introduced to a group of warriors branded under a common banner. They were known as the Banished, and they weren't no friends of the Covenant nor the UNSC. Guys, this is Chris here on HaloFollower. Will the Banished be in Halo 6? That's what we're going to talk about today. From promotional information, we were able to gather some details about the Banished and what they are all about. First and foremost, the Banished are enemies of the Covenant and have been for some time. The faction splintered from the religious group and began fighting with them at the same time the Covenant was committing war with mankind. Eventually, the Covenant would fall, and with its utter demise, would bring several technological gifts to the Banished that they would take control of. Unlike the Covenant, the Brutes and Syncheli, under the command of Atriox, the leader of the Banished, were never victim to the Great Schism, and because of that, were able to coexist and work together in unison. While the events of Halo Wars 2 have yet come to pass, we do know that the Banished were located at Installation 00, or the Ark, sometime before 2559. This also comes to pass after the UNSC Spirit of Fire comes out of drift from 28 years of doing so. While the Fire's personnel makes contact with the Banished on the surface of the Ark, it is unclear as to why the Banished are at the installation in the first place, nor why they attacked the research station located at the Ark. Why do you guys think so? Be sure to let us know down in the comments below. The Ark is a powerful installation, and the Banished would surely benefit from securing it, but it isn't clear what their occupation on the station serves exactly. Based on the amount of information we have on the Banished, it is safe to assume that they will show up in Halo 6 to some degree. With the Covenant collapsed, I can see many of the followers of the religion taking refuge in what the Banished stands for. Since the Banished is using previous technological resources of the Covenant, it is safe to assume that they will try and commandeer more weapons, vehicles, and ships to bolster their own firepower. However, aside from the UNSC, the Banished will also have to deal with the Swords of Synchelios.
Hunt them to the last. The day we extinguish the Covenant's light.
Last we saw of the Swords of Synchelios and the Arbiter, they were on the eve of breaking the Covenant. Now we can assume that the Swords would attempt to commandeer the same resources that the Banished would be after, given that anything left standing from their final confrontation. The Arbiter was last seen making contact with Blue Team and Fire Team Osiris as they discussed their next move against Cortana and her created. To explore the Banished possibly being in Halo 6, one has to consider at least 3 likely possibilities as to why they would show up in Halo 6. Okay, so for the first possibility, we have to take a look at the ending of Halo 5. The UNSC Infinity has made a randomized jump per the command of Commander Lasky, and it is very possible that the ship and her crew were transported to the area of the Ark. If this is the case, the UNSC forces would encounter each other and the Banished would have a much harder fight on their hands. As we don't know the size of the Banished, it is quite possible that the Banished is a much larger force, and the faction on the Ark was a mere drop in the bucket. They could potentially take over the Covenant's role as a threat alongside the Prometheans, and be a very formidable and dangerous foe to humanity and perhaps the galaxy at wide. The second possibility is that the Banished end up holding their own with the UNSC forces and manage to activate the Halo in an attempt to hold the UNSC hostage. It's clear that the Banished are very powerful and different than normal Covenant-based forces. So what better way to use the threat of their common enemy as a way to solidify their power? Finally, it is very possible that the Flood becomes present during the events of Halo Wars 2, and that the Banished and the UNSC have to team up to take them on, along with the looming threat of the Created with their Guardians. This isn't actually that far out, as in Halo Legends we learned that the same thing happened with the Covenant and humanity as a common threat, the Flood, showed up. The Banished are an interesting faction that was introduced with the Halo Wars 2 promotion, information, and story details and trailers. Unlike most of the Covenant-based factions, they too fought the Covenant and aren't bound to their beliefs, nor are they easy to understand. I believe that it is possible that we will see the Banished in Halo 6, if not a few mentions or a few things in Halo 6's story change due to the one in Halo Wars 2. It won't be until the conclusion of Halo Wars 2 that we will see in what context, how, and why, but my money's on the Banished being in Halo 6. What do you guys think? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. I would love to have a discussion and see what you guys think. Will the Banished be in Halo 6? Do you want them to be in Halo 6, or do you want something completely new, or do you want callbacks to Halo Wars 2? Again, let us know down in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and like this video if you ended up enjoying. Alright, catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.